What's going on, guys? This is No Filter, and here is my review for Hello Neighbor for the Nintendo Switch. Hello Neighbor comes to us from Dynamic Pixels and is published by Tiny Build, and it is $40 currently on Nintendo Switch, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard of Hello Neighbor. It is literally everywhere. I had no idea Hello Neighbor was so big, but if you go to any Toys R Us or Walmart, you're going to see toys branded with Hello Neighbor, which is crazy. And honestly, I think it's really cool because the concept of Hello Neighbor is fantastic. I love it. But there definitely are some few issues here that I think are hindering the game from being truly fantastic. Although, it's still definitely a great game. Now, I know a lot of people have differing opinions about this game. However, I think that might be stemming from maybe some initial trailers for the game and how much potential people think it had, but then don't think it lived up to it. For me, I didn't really see much of those. I wasn't really following it. I just knew that it was a big thing for PC gamers. Just coming from this review is just coming from a guy who is playing a game, doesn't know too much about it, and again, I definitely really enjoyed it. So for those of you who don't know, Hello Neighbor is a stealth action puzzle game, I'll say. It's some platforming in there. It is very similar to... It makes me think of a game like Portal, actually, in a lot of ways. However, this one is based on you trying to sneak into a house and find a secret in that house while avoiding the crazy AI-generated, randomly, or not randomly, I guess, a kind of growing AI of a neighbor that is trying to find you and kill you, basically. It's very heart-pumping, you know? It really gets the adrenaline going when you're running away from this guy who's trying to strangle you or whatever he's doing, and you're just trying to sneak into the house, and you have to use all these different crazy ways to get in there, it's just very interesting. It's very cool to see, and just I just love when I play a game that is so unique to me. I haven't played a game quite like this before, I just had a blast playing it. So the game starts you off, you're a kid and you're walking by a street, and all of a sudden you see through a window some crazy goings on with some guy looking like he's strangling someone. You hear screams, and then you see a door getting closed, and all of a sudden now you want to get in there and you want to find, did this guy just murder someone, throw him in their basement? I gotta save this person. For some reason, you don't have a phone, you don't have anything else, you don't have someone else you can call. It's very creepy. It's got like a Tim Burton-esque kind of feel to it, but very colorful at the same time. And it's just a really cool concept. And one of my favorite movies ever made is called Disturbia. And it was about basically a guy under house arrest who was seeing his neighbor doing some shady things, and he has to try to, kind of break in there and see what's going on with the neighbor. This brings me that sort of feel that I enjoyed in that movie. So this game definitely scratches that itch for me. I really, really enjoy it. And something really crazy, it just gets crazier. So after you go through the first level, you end up getting caught. Then you get thrown out or whatever. You somehow escape from your prison. And then you go outside, and all of a sudden the house has just grown to some monstrous abomination of a house, which is like crazy. And then that's the next level, and then the next level after that increases even larger, and it's just really cool, really crazy. It doesn't make much sense in that way, but the foundation that it's built on makes sense. You know what you have to do, you know where you're going, you just have to figure out how with some different puzzles that you're actually solving. And again, one of the issues people have with the game is how difficult it is, and saying how some of the puzzles aren't very logical. And while I do agree some of the puzzles are very tough, every level there are multiple ways you can complete these. So there is always some sort of logic that you use that you can think of that will solve that puzzle for you, and that is amazingly satisfying, because there's no user interface that's telling you how to do something or what to do, so you always feel like you're actually involved in the game. There's no game looking over you telling you what to do. You always feel like you're in control. So when you do solve a puzzle yourself and you figure out, oh shit, I just found this wrench buried here. Now I know I can open this here to unlock this gate, which then allows me to get into this room that can go onto the opposite side of where the door was locked, and everything kind of compounds, and it feels great when you're actually finding out and figuring out these puzzles yourself. However, yes, later on in the game, it becomes pretty overwhelming, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. So I can kind of see that complaint, but I also feel like that's one of the best strengths about the game too, is how crazy and loopy these puzzles get, and that there is still some logic throughout all of these and a lot of the compounds, and can really build into getting you some momentum. But while you're puzzle solving this stuff, you have to make sure you avoid the neighbor. He's looking for you, and he learns from you while you play. So say you're always entering in from the west side window of the house, and he's seen you there a few times. All of a sudden now he's going to be placing a bear trap below your feet, or a camera that tells him, hey, you're here. He's going to run right to you right away. Or he'll lock a door or something like that. He'll block your way somehow, that you have to change it around and go somewhere else. It keeps you on your feet and keeps you puzzle solving. So it's a really satisfying game to play through, and I really enjoy that. For the Switch version, definitely a little bit of a visual downgrade. It's not like the game is overly pretty or anything anyway. However, I do love the design. It looks great. The character models are creepy and interesting. The neighbor is just fantastic. The design is obviously, hit a string for everybody. It's everywhere. Hello Neighbor, just the brand in general, is everywhere. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the game. There's not much else to say. Like, it's just a really fun game to go through these levels. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed my time with it. Definitely a little bit janky in some aspects. I wish it was a little less annoying to control, I'd say. There's some puzzle aspects that are very not very user friendly to try to go through, and some of the puzzles can be a little bit frustrating, how they're not very clear, and there's just a lot to the game. So if you're really into puzzle games, I think you'll like this, and if you're into a lot of those games that a lot of streamers like to play, this is definitely one of them. So there it is, guys. There's my review for Hello Neighbor. I want to thank TinyBuild for the review code. I really, really appreciate it. This is a great game to play, and I'm really happy I finally got to try out the game. So thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you all next time.